Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Shenanigans. You are presently in the library, I believe.
Yeah. I just don't want to lose track of the day because I do not want to be late for seeing the dragon tomorrow morning. Yeah. I imagine the dragon doesn't like people missing appointments.
Probably not. It's
I
probably
wonder
kind of a
how.
cranky.
Yeah. Well, I guess since it is ruins, it'd have the day-night cycle with the light coming down the shaft, but you can't see the shaft.
Right.
Yeah.
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 Well, luckily, if it becomes too problematic and you can't show up, you can just never show up. And
Well, yeah. I'm safe if I never show up, but I need that knowledge. That knowledge. I've learned so much already today. What could I learn tomorrow? Like I learned the Iron Ridge. It didn't exist before the breaking, and it rose up. I mean, that's information I never had. Gnome was a larger size. It knows something about Scoria that no one else in the world knows at the moment, I think. What could the secret bit of Scoria be?
So many questions.
Yeah. And I haven't even asked about like how old Caledonia was, because as far as I'm aware, we don't know anything about how Caledonia used to be. And Arcadia East, what was that like before it became a cursed isle that none of our ships can ever approach?
So many questions.
Yeah.
All right, well, you're in the library. What do you want to do?
Well, I mean, library has its limitations because it's a book of a book, but a primary source like the dragon is so much more interesting. Yeah. Like, okay, so I've checked the town, checked the dragons. Yeah, all right, let me just look up some general information on Scoria for the dragon. The dragon seemed very interested in Scoria. Yeah, has Scoria ever visited Berkshire during the mating seasons?
Give me a sage knowledge check at -4 because this is a particularly specific bit of information.
Okay, so it's -6 instead of -2. So I've already put it in. So this is there we go.
Ooh.
So yeah, 15. So no dice.
No, unfortunately, that little bit of information cannot be found. There are mentions of red dragons. You know, Scoria is a red dragon, but usually it's not often that the dragons introduce themselves when they take over the town for their mating season. You know, they don't. There's not like a registry, so.
But don't they wear name tags because it's a meet and greet?
Unfortunately, it's all written in Draconic, and it's just.
I don't speak Draconic.
Yeah, and no one could really write it down. It's a pain in the butt.
Yeah.
All right. What else do you need?
Well, I think I'm at the limit of my knowledge checks here. Like Scoria, is there information about how she came to power 150 years ago?
Yeah, there's some information on that.
Yeah. Did you just turn up one day and go, "Hey, this is my land"?
Give me a sage knowledge check, just a flat one. No modifiers.
Yeah, normal -2. 33.
Yeah, so you can find a book that talks about Scoria somewhat. She came to Mistria from a faraway land on what is now known as Dragon Mountain, from faraway landing on what is now known as Dragon Mountain. She chose the peak of this mountain for its 360-degree view atop a towering spire of sheer exposed cliff face. The top was leveled, and a massive vertical shaft, wide enough for her to easily fly up, was carved into it. Somewhere below that is her lair, and there's a network of passages and caverns and rooms, supposedly at the bottom of this shaft on top of this mountain.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
This must be just reports from the people who give her tribute.
Yes. There's also an entrance at the base of the mountain where her lackeys can come and bring gifts and meet her and that sort of stuff.
Yeah. So who are her lackeys exactly? Because I said they were monstrous, but does the book say what type of monsters they are? Like, I mean, it wouldn't say the wizard because that's probably a modern thing, but or what monsters would she have?
Her minions include various goblinoids, ogres, mephits, and human allies.
So that she even had human allies back then.
Mm-hmm.
So goblins, ogres. Goblinoids, I mean.
Yeah, goblinoids.
Yeah, I got it. I wrote down the wrong word. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so she landed from lands far away, decided to take the central spot in the kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because, I mean, she did land right in the middle of the landmass. So if she was trying to conquer the whole land, that'd be a good staging point maybe for her.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe on the edge. Actually, that's really the terrible staging point.
It's got good views. You know, it's got
good views.
It's a good defensive position that she found. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and she's got, view of the Elfwood, but she loves to torment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Were there any attempts by historically, how did the attempts of armies trying to take it down go? Poorly?
I don't think there are going to be any records of that over here in Burnshire.
Fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's a lot of detail of her lair, though.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I asked. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I think I'm done here in the library because, and I might just rest for the night at Shenanigans.
Yeah. All right. You can rest at Shenanigans for the night. And you can wake up the next day. It's still a quiet day in Shenanigans. Not a lot of people around. Bar's getting a little bit busier, though. It's maybe 20% full now. 20 people in it.
All right.
Yeah.
I have a breakfast in the tavern. How much does that cost?
Your whole night and meals and everything will be 7 silver. For room, board, food.
I've got 4 silver.
That's all you have? Well,
I'm getting kicked out.
I mean, I guess you can be working on debt now. Usually you pay either when you check in or when you check out. So you've checked in without paying and realized you don't have money to cover the tab.
Yeah.
So you would better get some money.
Oh dear. Maybe I'll find something. I don't know.
Well, that's a problem for later.
Yeah, that's tomorrow's problem, not today's problem. Let me go back into the church.
All right, you head back to the church, back through the woods, and back to the building. The campfire is no longer here. The goblins are no longer here, but you are in the church, in the woods, next to this magnificent ancient building.
Well, it'd be more magnificent if it was still intact.
That's true.
But the thing is that all this reconstruction isn't keeping the original style. The stonework doesn't match the original stonework, and so it's not exactly a proper reconstruction. All right. Well, okay, I'll head down the ladder.
All right. You head down the ladder into the dark underground area below.
So, do I notice the altar ahead of me before I see the cave on the right?
No, I do not believe you will.
All right, I don't then. So I was just going to study it, but all right.
So you come back down, and as you come down, you can hear the dragon's breathing. When you get to the bottom of the staircase, the dragon calls out to you, "Cleric."
It is I, yes. Your Majesty.
Come forward.
Yes, Your Majesty. I found out more about Scoria, if you wish to know it.
Tell me.
It says that she came to Dragon Peak 150 years ago for its 360-degree views from lands far away, and that's when she dominated the humans of the area, and she raids the Elfwood to the north. And her minions, goblins, methods, and ogres, goblinoids, methods, and ogres bring her tribute and such, and human sympathizers.
The dragon growls lowly, but says nothing else.
All right. And I come forward.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm. What do you do?
All right. Let's see. You asked me to return today for a purpose, Your Majesty.
The dragon produces in its palm a sheet of parchment that has a sigil drawn on it. I'll put the sigil over here. If we go to this top corner,
Could you do a white background so I can put it in the wiki?
yeah,
Sorry.
it's fine. We will get rid of the grid. There we go.
Yeah.
Okay. And it will draw this sigil for you.
Mm-hmm. Are the leaves different shapes in the actual sigil?
They're all roughly the same. It looks like it's been drawn with a large dragon talon, so they're not perfectly similar or the same, but they're very similar.
Right.
And there are
a chat can't see the sigil.
well.
No, it's for me. I'm fine.
And in the center. Let me get the center doodle right before I drag it in.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so since there's 7 major gods, it's not about the gods. Unless they're ignoring Falumba again.
But Falumba makes 8, doesn't she?
Oh yeah, but
No, Falumba makes 7. Yeah. So
yeah.
this is why I need to be an artist. Damn it.
Well, I'm not an artist either. I just use assets.
Yeah. God damn it.
Yeah.
It's something. Nope. Something like this, but it needs to be resized. Put in the middle. Go.
Ooh, that's interesting.
No, that's not the right thing. God damn it. Here we go.
Yeah.
Adjust these slightly.
Ooh, it's gone.
Yeah, I'm just gonna redo that one because it doesn't look good.
Well, if you want to do it in Photoshop, I can just get a Photoshop image, but...
Yeah, well, this is going to be good enough for our purposes today. If I can just clean it up just a wee bit. Anyway, you get this sigil marked on a piece of parchment. Where the dragon got the parchment and the ink from, you have no way of knowing. But here it is.
One of my characters died down here with that stuff, but yeah. I had a cleric who died down this hole with that who was holding the stuff. Oh, what does the sigil mean, Your Majesty?
I want you to deliver this to Scoria.
Of course, Your Majesty. May I ask a few questions before I leave?
You may.
Do you have a connection with her, Scoria? The Grey Scoria?
A connection?
Yes, Your Majesty.
What do you mean, a connection?
Are you related, or do you know of her before your entrapment here? Our history books don't know of Scoria prior to her arrival 150 years ago. She's from lands far away.
Far away. Yes. We are familiar, or were a long, long time ago.
So she was alive before your entrapment, I assume.
Yes.
Yeah. The breaking of Arcadia occurred 1,512 years ago. So that's at least how long you've been here. That's when the earthquake occurred.
Yes.
Right. I have some other trivial knowledge questions, but I'll leave that for another time, Your Majesty. Such as like the lands to the south are now frozen over, and I wish to know if you know what they were like back in the day. And the land to the southeast is now guarded by a monster which stops all ships from approaching. And mountains from our far away view, we can see mountains have risen, and there weren't records of mountains there before. But what is your name, Your Majesty? If I may tell Scoria, or does Sigil tell her this?
Cinder.
With a C or S?
C.
Oh, there's a Cinder Lake to the south of here, in the Frostlands. It's a crater to the south. It's now surrounded by frost, magically occurring since the Curse of Caledonia occurred. Were you the namesake of the lake to the south?
Not that I'm aware of.
Yeah.
But people do tend to name things after powerful beasts.
Of course, Your Majesty. Yeah. It's a volcanic crater, but there's a lake over the top of it. Was it there in your era of all those years ago?
No. No such frozen lands with lakes over volcanoes am I aware of. Not at least on this island. Though it has been a long time since I have seen the skies.
Yeah. The land frosted over 1,500 years ago, so I wouldn't expect that to be there back then. Thank you for your time. I'll try to make my way across the battlefield to Scoria, Your Majesty.
Dragon nods.
Yeah. Do you have any way of me getting... Well, I guess you wouldn't have a way of me getting there easily. I'll leave you be, Your Majesty.
The dragon growls at you but says nothing else.
I bow deeply and tremble my way out of the cave.
All right. You can exit the cave. You find yourself up in the regular world. There's trees, birds, winds, all the fun stuffs.
Okay, let's, I feel fairly safe that not doing what this dragon says is safe, but I'm just hungry for that knowledge. I need to know the history books. I need to get information of this. I'm terrified of the dragon, and I don't want to do this, but I'm like, what could I find out from it all? This is a historian's dream. I must do this. How the heck do I get to a country that we're at war at?
Yeah, well, let's see. As the crow flies from Berkshire to Dragon Mountain is 200 miles.
Well, yeah, but there's a bit of...
But that's as the crow flies, right? If you were to...
Yeah. And Bridgegate's gone, so I can't exactly cross there. But do I know about the bridge at Bontheris these days?
That's probably... I mean, there are many ways to cross, right? You might not know if there's a bridge there or not, but it's a port town, so it should be easy to take a boat around the river at the very minimum.
Yeah. I go down and ask the dragon for travel funds to get there because I'm very poor. And I promise to actually do this. I promise on my God that I will go deliver this letter or I die. die trying. Because I can't get there. I'm very poor. Now, I know dragons like to keep their wealth, but I'm actually trying to do something, and I'm promising to actually do it.
So you come down, you ask the dragon for traveling funds to get there.
Yeah.
Dragon muses over your request for a moment.
I'm very sorry, Your Majesty. I know this is a big ask, but a lowly person such as myself, a historian, I do not have the funds to make such a large journey.
Yes.
Any trifling would be helpful, Your Majesty.
Dragon considers for a moment and then reaches back and tugs out 3 large scales from her side and hands them over to you, saying, This should fetch a wise cleric enough money to get them across the land.
Thank you, Your Grace.
Okay. That'll do.
I depart.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So I'm not going to try to sell to the adventurers in Shenanigans because they're cheapskates. But Desmond might be able to give you a fair shake for 3 red dragon scales.
Yeah. Desmond will through Desmond and Lizzie, you can get pointed to the Wizard's Tower in town. And they tell you that they will happily buy the dragon scales from you. And if you go there, they will buy them from you for 150 copper each. So that's only 450 copper for the 3 dragon scales. Well, these are pretty big dragon scales. Maybe we can up that price a little bit to 200 each. That's 600 copper. This is not a lot of money, but it's maybe enough to get you.
Yeah, 6 gold's enough for traveling. Yeah. All right. Okay, I agree. Thank you very much. All right. And I set out along the road. Okay, okay. Let's see. How do I cross the River Vodan? That's my biggest concern here. Maybe I'll go to Bontheris and see if I can be smuggled across or sneak across the border. But it feels like I'm going the long way to Dragon Peak if I'm going to Bontheris. Well,
is your plan to walk there?
Yeah, like, I know it's a battlefield, but yeah. I'm a cleric, so they'll give me some immunity, but then because Bridgegate is a fortified location and the bridge is gone. So I'm not sure Bridgegate's the best call, but maybe upriver from Bridgegate I can get around there. All right. I'll head on through to Kershwick and go across the Vodan Plains, I think. And then hit the Draken Ridge. And then see if I can get north from there.
Okay.
Or do we draw that in?
Yeah, go ahead and doodle me your path.
I hate it's now invisible. Alright. And from there I don't know. So I've got a path drawn in.
Alright. Let's roll some dice. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days of 7 days of easy travel. So this is 3 days to get to the edge of the woods.
Yeah.
And then going across the plain, you can maybe do 20 miles a day. So this is another 3 days to get to here. So you get your way from Berkshire to Kershwick without any problems. And you then make your way through the rest of the North Grove, across West Vodan, and find yourself at the edge of the Draken Ridge near the Silver River. And that is where we get to now. So here you are at the river.
I start looking for bridges that have been built by either side of the war. Because I mean, out of character, I know there is one, but in character, I don't.
Okay, so you search the river for a bridge. Okay. It will take you a day or so of traveling along the river looking for a bridge before you find something of interest. Yes. There is a very small bridge that crosses the river. It's maybe... it's at a narrow point, so that it's maybe a 30-foot long bridge, but it's only maybe like 1.5 feet or 2 feet wide. It's just like a pair of wooden 2x4s, basically, that stretch over it with some bracers every now and then. Yeah, it does not look particularly steady. There are no pylons down the middle of it. It just looks like a series of 2x4s that are sort of nailed together that spans a 30-foot stretch of bridge. It's pretty sketcy looking.
Yeah, since I don't have swimming, I'm very cautiously going to cross the bridge slowly.
Okay. Need to reference something. Not exactly what I thought it was going to be. This will work.
All right.
Okay. So you go to cross the bridge carefully because you don't have a swimming proficiency, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, and I take my chain shirt off and just leave my leather underclothes on.
Okay. So you're carrying your chain shirt in your bag over your arm or something?
So, so I can drop the chain if I fall in. Then I can try doggy paddling at disadvantage or whatever. Yeah.
Well, there's no handrails. Oh, hold on one sec.
Yeah. All right. Your doggy okay?
Yeah, it's all fine. We're just house sitting for a dog for the weekend, and
yeah.
Anyway, so there's no handrails. It's just like this narrow, maybe 6 to 8 inch, no, 2x4, 6 to 8 inch walkway, and you take a step, and there's something odd about it. It's like soft, like it's really like almost Play-Doh consistency wood. So you put your foot on it, and then you try and like take your foot off, and your foot doesn't really come off.
It's a mimic bridge.
Feels sort of sticky. And that's when the bridge begins to shape change. Roll me initiative.
Oh, for goodness sake, Neal. Goodness sake.
Yeah. You can't trust miracle bridges in the middle of the woods. It's too convenient to be true.
Bridges across rivers aren't miracles.
This one is. It shouldn't exist. Has very small mass. All right, where is? Here we go. Here is Adrian.
Yep. Yeah, I'm looking for my token.
It should be right next to Bridgegate.
Oh, I don't even see the token. Let me refresh.
Yeah, roll 20. Sometimes gets a little slow.
Yeah. It's reloading. Make sure it looks me in as store player. Let me go back down because I was at Bridgegate looking before.
Do you see Adrian?
Yeah, I see me now.
Perfect.
All right, initiative 4. No, not 4. I clicked 4. 14.
Okay.
All right, it moves first. Freak. I rolled a 10.
I see that, yes. You're in quite a bit of trouble here.
Oh, yes, I am.
Okay. The mimic is awkwardly placed between the two sides of this river. It does not have great purchase on anything, but it will try to drag you into the water, I think. I think that's what it does. So the section on the other end of the river holds fast, while the section that you've stepped on pulls tries to pull back and begins to fall into the river. You can make me a saving throw to try and catch hold of something to not be dragged into the river.
So that's Dex then?
I guess, yeah. Give me an opposed strength check first, because I suppose it might not be able to pull you.
Well, I'm 28 strength.
That's actually very good. And the mimic only rolls a natural 4. I don't think it has 25 strength on it, so...
I hope not.
Nope. So the mimic tries to pull you off, but you hold fast, and its lack of leverage, since it's stretched out so far, keeps it from pulling you in. That is the mimic's turn. It's your turn. What do you want to do?
Take my boot off and jump backwards.
You take your boot off. It holds fast to the mimic, who pulls it into the water where it was tugging you, and you fall to the other side as the mimic, half of it plunges into the water and begins to recoil back to the other side like a frog rolling in its tongue.
So I had one foot on the bridge and I got caught, then I stopped moving. So what happened to me?
You're free. You've taken your boot off. Yeah, so the mimic...
Yeah, I'm just making sure I'm on shore, not on water.
Yeah, you're on shore. The mimic is in the water and pulling itself back to the other side.
Alright. I run away.
Well done. I kind of thought you were going to die here. Thought it was just going to drag you into the water.
If I was going to...
Or you were going to fight it.
Yeah. I was going to run here.
All right. Well, great. The mimic reforms on the other side of the bridge, and then you just see it turn into a rock.
All right.
Now there's just a rock on the other side of the river.
I was going to make a sign that says "Warning, Mimic" next to it, but I can't now. I'm not going to bother if it turns into a rock. It's like, oh, what mimic? Yeah. So I'll keep traveling.
What a great idea, though, to wander around putting up signs that say "Caution, Mimic" just around the place without saying what it looks like. What a trolly thing to do.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to collect some ichor from Malachi, so you'll have to get this mimic on his own.
Okay. You can spend the rest of the day getting to Bridgegate.
Yeah. I saw, I guess that other bridge must have been destroyed in the past few months.
Yeah, there's no other bridge along this river.
Yeah. I get the Bridgegate and buy a new shoe.
You can buy a new shoe. It'll cost you... You're pretty low on... So you how did you feed yourself for the 7 days of travel?
Okay, so I would have had to buy 7 days of rations, so because I don't have any hunting. So I didn't even check that. Let me go to.
And your shoe is going to cost you 50 copper.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I've got 50 copper. Actually, I got 10 copper. So. Yeah. Let's see. I got 6 gold. So I should have. Sorry for not tracking this.
That's fine. It's fine.
Economy,
Rations standard are 20 per day, and you had a week of travel, so that should be 140.
All right.
Plus the 50 for your boot should bring you to 190 in travel expenses.
Okay, all right. So that leaves me with 4 gold, 6 silver.
Okay.
So I'll give them a new shoe for 5 silver. So that drops me to 4 gold, 1 silver.
There you go.
Yeah. All right.
Well, here you are in Bridgegate.
All right. So, what's the state of Bridgegate in this era?
You can see the walls of Bridgegate are badly scorched with dragon fire. Sections of them have melted and collapsed. Some sections have just melted down the side of the wall and then hardened there, creating this weird lava flow melting everywhere. But the flags are still flying, high and bright, snapping in the wind, colorful as ever. The people go about their business. You can see that there have been a lot of hastily constructed additional defenses about the area, and the Great Bridge, is gone.
Yeah. While I'm in town, I really hide my mystery and accent
You have a Mystrian accent?
Yeah, at the start of the episode, I was talking in an accent, but when I was talking with the dragon, I was speaking Old Common, so I didn't have an accent.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, here you are in Bridgegate.
All right.
It's a hustling, bustling little town not too far from your goal. What are you going to do?
Yeah, well, I assume since the army can't get across the bridge, I can't get across the river.
Well,
yeah, because I don't have any fly spells, float spells, feather fall spells. I can detect magic and turn undead and augury.
None of these are very helpful for getting across a river, especially a river deep in a canyon. You know, it's not like you could just swim across it.
Yeah, and I can't swim across either. That's why I was trying to find a bridge upriver where it's not as steep.
Well, it looks like if any such bridge ever existed, it has been completely destroyed in recent time.
No, it makes sense. The army would patrol and destroy it to make sure no
one would
incursions.
they wouldn't want that bridge there.
Yeah. And going further down the canyon's just going to be deeper and deeper.
So what are you going to do here in Bridgegate?
I think I might have to just go upriver and go into the hills and try to get around the river up hills and cut through Gold Hill. That's the only way I can see, because there's no legitimate way of going across the border, and I don't want to reveal a mystery into anyone. Especially here on the front lines.
Okay.
Yeah.
So turn around the next day and head back to up the river?
Yeah. And any bridge I see, I'm just going to see if a rock rolls on it before I step on it.
Wise maneuver.
But then again, since I didn't see any bridges, I'm going to be suspicious of it anyway. Oh, yeah, that bridge appeared overnight.
Right. Well, you turn around the next day and head on back.
Rations and head up the Silver River and look for a shallow crossing that isn't going to kill me.
Well, you make your way upriver. You do find a place that is maybe not shallow enough to walk across, but you can't swim at all, can you?
No, I can't swim. I mean,
no, that's not going to work then.
You can doggy paddle, you said, like in Pirate Edition, but, non-proficient.
Yeah, that you would just get swept down the river and get killed,
definitely,
probably.
Definitely.
Maybe 30% chance of dying, 30% chance of ending up on one bank, 30% chance of ending up on the other bank, 10% chance of something more interesting happening.
Hitting the rocks on the way down and getting your face cut up.
Oh, yeah. So, eventually the Silver River kind of breaks off into these tributaries, and you find yourself climbing into the Draken Ridge Mountains. How far into the mountain do you want to go?
Well, I'm going to take the road, because when Doreen got to Gold Hill, she could go through the hills and get there. I'm wondering if I can find a similar route. She didn't cross the bridge.
How did she get across the river?
Oh, wait. Doreen went to Bridgegate. There was a bridge back then. Never mind. I'm wrong. Yeah. So I've got to find some crossing, some way to get north from where I am now, because I don't have mountaineering or mountaineering equipment.
You can begin hiking into the mountains. Give me a strength check, please.
All right. 33.
Yeah. You find yourself hiking into the mountains, following this river that gets more narrow, but also as the higher you get, the deeper the river gets. And it's this like rushing torrent of water with the occasional waterfall breaking it as it, climbs higher into the mountains, and you have to find your own switchback way up the mountain. It takes you a couple days in the hills until you come across a spot. It's a narrow ledge, maybe, what is this? 1.5 feet wide, that runs along the edge of a near to sheer surface, and partway across this is like the middle of a waterfall, where where theoretically you could cross, but it's gonna be like wet, slick rocks underneath the waterfall that you're gonna have to shimmy across. It will require a dexterity check to cross successfully if you are not under pressure. A failure means you slip and fall down the waterfall, which we'll just see what's going on at that point.
Yeah. I've got 4 HP. I'm dead. Yeah.
I mean, it's water down below, but it is kind of a drop. There are the occasional rocks.
Yeah. All right. Well, I cast Bless myself first because I've only got 7 decks.
Okay.
I get my hammer and poke the ground to make sure it's not a mimic passage.
It feels hard.
Okay. And I can withdraw my weapon without getting stuck.
Mm-hmm.
All right. It's got to be something I can leverage here to get it so it's less slick. But what have I got? I've got a shovel. I've got a pickaxe.
Wielding any of these things on this tiny ledge would require a dex check to do successfully. So
yeah. I don't have anything for this scenario.
What's your dexterity score?
7.
Oh, so you need a 14 to pass.
Yeah,
that is not great.
Well, I've got a +1 on that, but yeah, because I just got blessed. But still, 13 to pass is not good.
Yeah.
Okay, 13 or fall down waterfall ain't a good result.
That is a an 8 out of 20 chance, which is a 40% chance.
All right. Well, before I try it, I do look around to see if there's another way I can cross, because I realize that's pretty dangerous.
You can try and keep going higher into the mountains and see if you keep climbing the mountains, if there's another way around. But you're already a couple days in here. These mountains are not known to be the safest place in the world.
No,
so
of course. Yeah,
if you
let me
cross
just.
Here, it should be easy.
Yeah. Better here than the Blue Dragon, hey?
Maybe. Yeah, or whatever, mountain giants or whatnots.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to roll the dex.
All right, everybody. We need a 13 or higher on a 1d20. Oh, my God. Perfect score, almost. You carefully edge your way along the waterfall, making it to the other side safe and sound. Not even slipping once.
I give a prayer to my gods. They gods or God? Because I know they're conjoined gods, but...
sort of like a duality, like... in Christianity, you've got the Trinity. It's one God, but it's also 3 gods at the same time. Yeah.
Well, I'll give my thanks to Dorbreath Guam. What the hand signal? I'm just doing something random here. I haven't codified it.
You flash the appropriate gang signs to the gods.
Yeah.
All right. Here you are in the wilderness on your own.
All right. Well, I use my compass and head on to Gold Hill.
Okay. Head on to Gold Hill. Where's my dice?
Yeah. From the news, it's a mystery and territory at the moment, so it should be fine.
Yeah. You can cross the hills, no problem. No encounters. I've been given us a 30% chance of encounter, but in 7, 3, 4, 5... so in 12 days, there's only been 1 roll for an encounter thus far. With a 30% chance. And it was a bridge mimic. That's pretty good odds. The gods must be on your side, because you arrive in Gold Hill. On the other side of the river from Gold Hill? Yeah, you arrive on one side of the river from Gold Hill.
All right.
And you can see the town.
Is there a passage? Yeah. All right.
There is a bit of a dam with like a spout through the bottom of it to allow the river to continuously flow. Right. And you can see the dam is propped up by logs and support beams that are all connected together by ropes, which are connected to this large system of boulders that are then held in place by this careful lever system. And all you would need to do would be to pull these levers, which would drop this, and the boulders would fall, and the supports would go, and the entire bridge would collapse. Yeah. But until it does so, dam would collapse. Until it does so, the dam is crossable.
All right.
There are guards on the dam that spot you coming from a mile away, and you can see they've got crossbows leveled in your direction, as well as a few ballista that aren't pointed towards you, but one of them could be turned if it needed to be.
In mystery, and I call out, "G'day, mate! I'm a cleric, just passing through."
It appears that they are fine with this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
No military activity to the south of me. Just quiet on the road.
You walk on across the bridge. The dwarves eye you and lower their crossbows as you approach, and they can see your sigils on you. And like a cleric of Cheese, clerics of Dorbath and Guam are not known to really travel around a lot. So they look at you with a lot of curiosity. What is this strange creature coming this way? One of the dwarves will hold up his crossbow to you in a sort of peaceful gesture and say in Mystrian, "What are you doing here? Where the hell are you coming from?"
I'm bringing a message from another dragon down south. Scoria wants a message sent, so I speak Old Common, so that's why I went down there.
The dwarves exchange uncomfortable glances. You're a courier for Scoria then, huh?
Yeah.
Well,
I showed the note, even though it means nothing. But
we don't want any trouble
dragon.
with you then, Mr. Cleric. Why don't you be on your way as quickly as possible?
Yeah. Is the offspring still in the mines?
What would you know about Gold Hill Mines?
You're right, I shouldn't know about it. Okay, bye.
They eye you with a renewed suspicion as you ask a pointed question and leave.
All right,
and you can
I'll head down the east road to the ruins of Half Hill.
Okay, that is going to be 31 miles. That'll be another day of travel. That was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this will be 6 days since you left Bridgegate.
So I'll pay more rations.
Uh-huh.
Okay. What were they again per day?
20 per day.
20. I'll just write that down here, sorry.
Oh.
Per day.
And you will enter...
I'm still liquid.
Sure. You will enter into the badly destroyed town of Half Hill. There are small little halfling homes built into the ground. The grass on top has been burned and singed. The doors are charred away, leaving them sort of these open, hollow rooms. The streets of the town are scorched black with fire and scorched or dyed red with blood in other various areas. There are a few people who have resettled, are squatting here, or passing through. There's a group of maybe 20 or 30 people in the center of town area inhabiting some of the old buildings. And why don't we take a break here in Half Hill? It's about time. And when we come back, we will continue from Half Hill all the way to Dragon Peak. So we'll see you on the other side of our break. Bye-bye.